Why did I disappear? Hi guys, it's been 7 months from the time I uploaded my last video, and to think that in that video I said I was going to show up more on this channel, and the reverse has been the case for the past 7 months. It's something I'm not so proud of, but yeah, I'm back now, and I felt it would be just okay if I make this video to explain why I disappeared. I also want to share an experience that I have lately with you guys, because I learned a couple of things from that experience, and I don't know whoever that is watching this how they can benefit from it, or maybe how they can apply those lessons into their own lives. So let me start by saying a big thank you to each and every one of you that reached out to check on me. Like, it's a different kind of encouragement when someone you don't know and may never meet cares about you, to want to know if you are okay when you don't show up. Like, I don't take that for granted. Thank you so much. And to my returning subscribers, thank you for not giving up on me yet. And if this is your first time coming across this channel, please don't make it your last. I will appreciate it if you click on the subscribe button and also drop a comment. Okay, thank you. So what happened and why have I been MIA on this channel? The thing is, I was eating some of my biggest frogs for the year. And even though while I was setting those goals, I know like they were big frogs, and initially I thought I was going to be able to carry everything along, create balance for everything. But then when it was time for me to actually get into eating the frog, I realized that it was much more bigger than I expected. So what is this big frog? I'm going to go in details. I already promised you guys that. Just a disclaimer, okay, what is a big deal to me may not be a big deal to you, and what is a big deal for you may not be a big deal for me. We have different abilities and capacities, so please do not judge me if what I'm about to say is actually like a minor thing for you, okay? It was a big thing for me. So where do I start? Okay, let's start from the very beginning. So when I wrote WAEC and NECO years back, in case any non-Nigerian is watching, WAEC and NECO is a certification exam that we take after 6 years of secondary school, what you guys call high school. So when I did write WAEC and NECO years back, I happened to fail some of my major courses because I was very sick while I was writing that exam. Not exam fever like malaria and typhoid, serious one, okay? But if I'm being honest, that illness is not the only reason why I failed that exam. I also did not take that exam seriously because I just couldn't see the chances of me furthering my education, which made me sad, and I didn't even put in effort to pass the exam because I felt I didn't need the exam for anything if I'm not furthering my education. But fast forward to later, I started considering retaking the exam because I felt like, you know what, even if I'm not going to further my education, it won't be bad if I have a good result for the stage I'm able to get to. And peradventure any chance of furthering that education comes up, I'll be able to grab it immediately and, not have to now retake the exam as at that time. So I made up my mind to retake the exam, but then every year, when the time for registering the exam comes, one thing or the other happens and there won't be enough funding for the registration. Fast forward to last year, towards the end of last year, I decided to actively plan financially for the exam registration because I was working at the point so I could fund it myself. So I did my calculations, and it turns out that I would be able to save up a bit above the amount needed for the registration before the exam commences this year, and I thought I was good to go. So I started the exam registration process in one of the schools in my village here, and it was going all fine. I also submitted my resignation letter at my place of work, and everything was going smoothly, okay? Fast forward to a month to when I'm supposed to resign from work. I got an update from the principal. What is this update? She was being transferred to another school in another village, which was okay. I mean, I could still continue with my registration process here in my village. But then she told me that the former school where I already started the registration process may not be taking exams this year. So I have the option of either transferring with her to her new school or staying back in the former school and risk not taking that exam this year. And of course, I went with the option of transferring with her, but then that came with more expenses. And I didn't have financial plan for such unforeseen, and that was when frustration set in. Because if I quit now, I will lose all the money I've spent already. And mind you, I was an external candidate, plus the whole new CAS policy thing in my state. So I had to pay like closely double the amount a regular student will pay, which is a huge sum of money, at least to me right now. So I can't quit not going to take that exam. And I can't take down my resignation letter at work because I need to be present to write this exam, and I didn't have enough finances to sponsor myself through it. So I had to just figure out how I'm going to navigate the whole thing, and everything plus the exam stress itself was just stressing me out so much. Let me drop one of my lessons here. When you're making plans, it's good to pray and plan for what you want, but make sure you plan for unforeseens. Another thing I learned from this whole situation is that worrying doesn't change anything, because this is me on my first day of exam. I was a few minutes away from my first papers, and as you can see here, I wasn't even dressed. Like, I was just seated here worrying about how I was going to navigate through the whole situation. And the fact that I have already prayed to God about this whole thing, why am I still worrying? Does it mean I don't believe that God could fix it for me? And this particular worry I was worrying on this very day now, did it make anything easier for me? No. So when you've prayed to God about a challenging situation, just trust that He is making everything good for you, and quit worry. Instead, focus on what can you do right now that can help make the challenging situation a lot easier for you. Another thing I also learned is don't let your emotions overtake you when you're making certain decisions, because if I hadn't let my emotions and my scarcity mentality overcome me back then when I initially wrote this WAEC, I would have maybe put in more effort and probably passed this exam, and I wouldn't have to come back to go through this whole stress. Another thing is, if there is something in your past that you are not okay with and it's something you can still work on or correct, take your time to make plans and go correct that. But if it's something you cannot correct, forgive yourself and move on. All in all, WAEC result is out now, and I would say it was worth the whole stress, even though I shouldn't have gone through all that stress, but like it was worth it. And NECO result is yet to be out. I recorded some vlog clips, but I just couldn't get myself to edit them then. NECO ended about a month ago, but then I've been trying to help my mom in her farm works because like it's farming season, so that's why it took this long for me to edit out all of that. But yeah, I'm back now. Keep your support coming, like this video, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and yeah, I'm going to see you guys in my next one.